It was a crisp October morning when the body of Professor Linton Hayes was found slumped over his desk at the quiet eastern wing of Ardenwood University. A respected history professor, beloved by students and faculty alike. Professor Hayes was known for his late-night lectures, pipe tobacco, and solitary walks across the ivy-covered campus. His death was violent. A blunt force trauma to the back of the head. No signs of forced entry. His wallet and laptop were missing, leading police to label it as a likely robbery gone wrong. The media ran with it. Respected professor victim of random campus violence. Candlelight vigils were held. His students mourned a mentor they loved. But Detective Ramona Ellery, recently transferred from Chicago PD after a messy case, didn't bite. Ellery combed through Hayes' office. Something bothered her. The untouched cup of black tea, the perfectly arranged books, the way the desk lamp was still on. It didn't look like someone interrupted a robbery. It looked like Hayes had welcomed someone he trusted. Security cameras on the hallway were offline maintenance, campus tech said. No usable prints, no witnesses, no screams. The janitor said he'd seen Hayes enter the building around 10 p.m. No one saw him leave. Her first break came when Hayes' phone records revealed multiple calls to someone named D. Martin in the weeks before his death. Digging into the name, Ellery found it belonged to Danielle Martin, a 23-year-old graduate student. Hayes was her thesis advisor. When questioned, Danielle appeared devastated. "He was more than a professor to me," she said, trembling. "He was the reason I even stayed in school." Still, something in her eyes didn't match the tears. As Ellery dug deeper, a pattern emerged. Hayes had filed 2 Title IX complaints over the summer. Both involved anonymous students reporting a toxic relationship between a professor and a student. But the records were sealed. With a court order, Ellery gained access. Shockingly, the complaints were against Hayes. One described a professor manipulating grades for intimacy. The wording was careful, vague. No names, but one passage stood out. "He knows too much. If I speak, he could ruin me like he ruined her." Ellery revisited Danielle, pressed harder. Finally, she snapped. "He wasn't who you all think he was," she said, voice shaking with rage. "He manipulated me, threatened to fail me. I hated him." But she insisted she hadn't killed him. Then came a twist. Hayes had another visitor that night. Campus entry logs showed a swipe in at 9:56 p.m. Faculty ID. Dr. Malcolm Ridge, head of the psychology department. He claimed he hadn't seen Hayes in weeks. But Ellery discovered Ridge's wife had filed for separation 3 days before the murder, citing obsession with a student. The student? Danielle Martin. Ridge, nearly twice her age, had been seeing her in secret. When he learned about Hayes' involvement, whether real or perceived, jealousy erupted. Ellery confronted Ridge in his campus office. "You blamed Hayes," she said. "Thought he was seducing Danielle. You snapped." Ridge, cornered by forensics showing Hayes' blood on a hidden pair of gloves in his car, broke. "I warned him," Ridge whispered. He kept pushing. "I didn't mean to kill him. I just wanted to scare him." The media narrative flipped. Not a robbery, not a random act, but a crime of passion, of manipulation, of betrayal among scholars. Danielle disappeared from public view after testifying. Ridge was sentenced to 28 years in prison. Ardenwood's reputation took a hit. Students questioned everything they thought they knew about their professors. Detective Ellery stood at Hayes' grave weeks later, not because she admired him, but because the truth was messy. He wasn't entirely innocent, nor entirely guilty. As she lit a cigarette in the foggy cemetery, she thought of all the lectures Hayes had given about history repeating itself. He'd been right. But in this story, there were no heroes, only victims and consequences. Subscribe for more real-life true crime stories. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.